With bated breath, we tell you this. The House Oversight Committee will hold a new hearing to discuss how it's possible the State Department failed to save so many emails while Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. Judge Napolitano, equally bated breath, is here with us. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing happens.
Words out of my mouth.
They're going to run out of the clock. Nothing ever happens.
They have actually subpoenaed two people who claim, I'm going like this with my hands, claim to have gotten immunity. Why I say that in a second. And they're going to ask them questions, you know, how did it happen that you destroyed material evidence that had been subpoenaed by this committee? Who asked you to destroy it? Right. What kind of answers do you think they're going to get? I refuse to answer on the grounds that the answer might incriminate me and I'm protected by the Fifth Amendment. Wait a minute. You got immunity. If you got immunity, you have no Fifth Amendment protection, unless they didn't really get immunity. They just got a promise from a prosecutor not to prosecute. And that is barely worth the paper it's written on. It doesn't bind other prosecutors in that office.
You see, all
this is almost farcical.
It is.
With respect to the rule of law.
Yes. All this legal jujitsu leaves
For once,
voters.
I agree with you. This is legal jujitsu. It is really in the weeds.
This is nonsense. Somebody took a hammer to a cell phone to get rid of evidence which Congress had subpoenaed.
And someone told that person to do it, and someone told that person to tell the other person to do it, and one of those people knew that it had been subpoenaed. And Congressman Chaffetz, he's got to be the most patient person in D.C., is going to ask this question many, many times. Who told you to do this? And he's not going to get an answer. He's certainly not going to get an answer before Election Day. Isn't the American public entitled to an answer?
Yes.
I would put, might get in trouble for this, Director Comey under oath.
Why not?
Why didn't you pursue the destruction of evidence? Why didn't you pursue obstruction of justice? Why didn't you pursue who told them to destroy this?
I just can't help but feel that if I'd done that, if I took a hammer to a cell phone, or I ordered somebody else to do it, to get rid of evidence, I would be in prison now, instead of being, you know, held up in front of Congress and saying, I plead the Fifth or whatever. I just feel there's a double standard here.
I think your feeling is shared by many, many people. Even Democrats who want Mrs. Clinton to get elected do not want to talk about this, because in their times of intellectual honesty, they agree with what you just said.
Yes.
This is not the rule of law as we've come to understand it. So tomorrow they're going to have this hearing at 10 o'clock. You and I can talk about it at 11 tomorrow, because we will probably be even more frustrated about it than we are now, because we will have just watched it.
It's a deal. 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. You're going to sit there and say that to me. All right, Joe. Thank you very much indeed, sir. Appreciate it.